Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How's it going? Got a
Good. How
big
are
group
you
coming
guys?
in.
Doing all
Hello.
right.
Clicking is bringing everybody in here as soon as they're coming in. So we'll give it a second
Love
till
it.
we bring everybody, till the dust settles a little here. Glad to have everyone here. We weren't sure if how many would show up, so this is awesome. Love this.
Look at all these familiar faces.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
Jason, I'd say this is a bigger turnout than we've had lately for a lot of other admin training, so that's exciting. It's been a minute since we've had this big of a group.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I think things have calmed down a little bit with everyone coming in. I think we've grabbed most people, so we can probably.
Somebody's sharing their screen.
Yeah. Michelle, was that you?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think it was me on accident.
oh, that's all right.
No worries.
Come on
Just
in.
wanted to make sure someone
What are
knew.
you up to today?
Yeah.
Well, now you know. No.
Awesome. Well,
Um,
great. Go ahead. I think
I was gonna
we're set.
say,
I'll continue to let folks in
okay.
as we're doing this, and then I'll go ahead and hit record.
Mhm.
Then that way we'll be
Yeah.
good to go. Alrighty.
Um, I think that, I mean, are you gonna do like intros and everything too, Heidi?
Yeah, I
I
didn't know
just
if
wanted
you
to say,
wanted us to do
no, go
that or if
ahead.
you wanted. Okay.
I'll let you go for it. Go for it.
Awesome. Well, everyone, my name is Heidi Latire. I am a customer success manager here at Cloverleaf. I've been working with TribalHub. So for as long as you guys have, a lot of you have been working with them, I've been working with them as well. Gosh, has it been 3, 4 years probably?
Yep. Hmm.
So it's been great working with them. Um, we basically what my role is to support our partners and consultants that utilize Cloverleaf with their teams and their clients. So I am that person that helps support them and gets it all to you guys. And then I have my colleague here, Jason Miller, who is on our support side of things. And so if you have messaged into support or through our chat, you have talked to Jason. If you didn't know that, this is the face to the chat bot. And so Jason does admin trainings for just in general any of our direct users that use us. So I asked him, could you do that just for our TribalHub folks? Since we'll be changing the way our systems, we've been kind of doing some updates and security. Now each of you have admin access of your own. In the past, we were all under the TribalHub organization. Now you all have your own. So security is a little bit better. And now you have access to admin functionality. So we wanted to just let you know what that is. There's also just been some updates and stuff. So we wanted to just give you an opportunity to ask questions, things like that. So Jason will be the one that's going to be our leader on showing how things go, but I'll be in the chat answering any questions and bringing people in as they come in later. This is also being recorded, so we'll be sharing this with folks that weren't able to make it as well. And then you guys can rewatch it so you can remember what was said. And gosh, I remember he said something like that, but how did I do that? So we'll record it and share that as well. Anything I missed, Michelle?
Yeah, I don't think anything you missed, but I just wanted to give a little more color, I guess. Everybody, I'm Michelle with the Tribal Hub team. I feel like I know almost everybody on here. Alexis is a new membership representative, and she is on the call as well. So after this call, if you have questions, if you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot what they said, reach out to Alexis or myself. We'll be able to help you. And just a reminder, the Cloverleaf platform is a benefit as a Tribal Hub member. And so thank you all for being a Tribal Hub member. Starting middle of March, I believe, you'll have a 12 months to use the platform for free. You can add as many people as you want to the platform. So this is a really great opportunity for you to go in and like add your entire team, add the tribe, add the casino, work with Jason and Heidi and, figure out how you can use it best for, for your group. And then, after the 12 months, figure out if it is something that you'd want to pursue, for the coming year. We do offer different pricing, price points for Tribal Hub members. So if you're at the end of the 12 months and you're like, God, I really want to use this continually, we can help you get that going today. So this again is just some basic training for the admin function, which is going to be new. And I just wanted to also wrap in a little piece of using our purpose and performance group partners as well as something that is available to all of you. If you're like, God, I love Cloverleaf, I love using it, but how can I really, take that next step with my team? Reach out to myself or Alexis and we can connect you with purpose and performance group to do a 30-minute call with you and your team to really make sure that you're getting the most that you can out of this new tool. So that is, again, something that is available to all of you as a Tribal Hub member. So if I'll put our emails in the chat also if anybody does, forgets or doesn't know how to reach out to us. So just make sure that you're using it and feel free, please, to reach out and use those resources. Yeah, so that's all I want to chime in with. All right,
Yeah.
I'll hand it over to you, Jason.
Purpose and Performance is another partner of ours as well. And
Yeah.
we've been working with them for many years as well, even
Mhm.
before you guys. So they're a great resource and we'll be
Yeah.
able to, help you with any of that as well. And keep in
Mhm.
mind too that, you have your teams that you've had on there for a while. The benefit of opening this up is that you can invite as many people as you want this year. So in that time frame, have other folks, obviously, I think most of you, are using it within your own departments. If you're working with other departments, if you're working with other teams, you know, feel free to share the access as well with others. We like it we love it when it grows. So don't hesitate to bring in others and as well as you're using it. And then if we have questions, just let us know and we can be of assistance too. Awesome. All right, Jason, I'll leave it up to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Heidi. So thanks everybody for taking some time out to go through some admin training. I've shared my screen. This is typically the entry point into Cloverleaf. There's a lot of cool things that you can do on this page that um, anyone can do on the platform. We'll come back to this if there's time. I can show you kind of some advanced Discover questions you can ask here that might be helpful as well. But the core of this is admin dashboard. So the first question I usually get is, how do I get back here? So as admins of Cloverleaf, if we click our profile icon up here in the top right, there's an admin settings link here that's going to take us to our organization settings page. So just to give you a lay of the land, and let me figure out where to put my Zoom camera. There we go. Okay. So over here on the left, we've got organization settings with some pages in here that you can visit. Candidates, which you might not be seeing. That's our hiring tool. And then we have the all people in the organization section, which will conclude things here with, as I think this is probably where you'll be spending the majority of your time. But just to kind of get us started up here in the configurations page, there's a couple of different pages that you can jump to from this page. Most of this, I would say, is set and forget, aside from maybe the assessments page, which you might be tweaking as you progress with Cloverleaf and continue your rollout of that. So with the general page, this is basically just a snapshot of your org, your Cloverleaf org. So you'll see just some quick numbers about members, admins, invites, things like that, followed by organization information. So you can name your org, you can rename your org. Every organization gets a login URL. So this is kind of the first big call out that I will make here is one, I would encourage everyone to bookmark this URL. This is how you all will get in. This is how your teammates will get into your Cloverleaf org here. So definitely make sure that this is something easy, catchy, and then encourage everybody to bookmark that. In the event the URL needs to change, this is something that I can do in support. It takes me about 30 seconds. So as Heidi mentioned earlier on the call, I am customer support. We're trialing an AI bot right now, but I see everything. So if you do ever have any questions or maybe you do want to change this, shoot me a message over here and we'll make sure that we get you taken care of right here. And then last, if you have any branding that is specific to your organization, we have two spots where you can upload um, uh, yeah, your logo and an icon. So we give you the specific sizes. You'll usually see this in like any emails that you get, like the coaching emails. You'll see the banner image here. And then in your icon, this is your square image. This lives right up here in the top left. So if you do want to add kind of a personal touch, you can definitely do that as well. All right, next is access. So with access, this is an additional layer of, I would say like control over who can come into your org, who gets invited to your organization. So depending on your comfort level, you can set this up to, safeguard that your teammates are sending invites to the right people, basically their coworkers or their teammates, and that they're not just inviting their family or anything like that. So with that in mind, the access page has three different boxes that kind of all work with each other. So this first one is a trusted domain. So right now, inside my dummy org, I do not have a trusted domain set up. So what this means is any one of my teammates in here, they could invite anyone they wanted to invite, and Cloverleaf would let them in. This is really good for like leadership cohorts or something like that. If you're working with a lot of people that come from different organizations or companies or what have you, not having a trusted domain here is a good setup for that. However, most of the time, everybody that I interact with is usually setting up Cloverleaf for their teammates. So that means their email domains all usually have one domain. So we use at cloverleaf.me, for example. So if I wanted to add a domain, and I won't be able to add this one because we're using it inside of our main org, but just to give you an idea of, I'll just do .net for fun here, and then I'll delete it. Um, so now that I've added my trusted domain, I can trust that my teammates can invite their teammates who are not on Cloverleaf yet, and it will check to make sure that the emails that are getting invited have this email domain. If it's just a regular Gmail or Yahoo or something, Cloverleaf is going to say this isn't on the approved list of domains. So just a caveat there. You don't have to set anything here, but this just gives you that additional layer of control as to who's coming into your account. And then underneath that, you have access type. So this allows you to manage how people can either find or be added to your Cloverleaf org. 9 times out of 10, this is set to invite only. I don't think I've ever seen an org marked discoverable before. But what this means is you can share just your general Cloverleaf URL. And if it's set to discoverable, I should say, you can share this out with anyone. And then what you're trusting Cloverleaf to do is, because we have that trusted domain up here, is anyone that signs up has to meet this condition right here. You can have more than one trusted domain as well. So if you are working with maybe a small handful of folks that come from a couple of specific organizations, this is potentially a way of setting it up. However, most admins that I work with, they like to know who's coming in to their Cloverleaf org when they send the invites out, which we'll get to here in a minute. But this domain definitely adds that layer of security there. And then the last box here is invite permissions. So this, again, you can either set it to only org admins being able to set invites or letting everyone invite their teammates, and then again, trusting the domain that we've added up here to let the right folks in, essentially. So there's a couple of different layers to it. I would kind of start out with invite only and org admins to start, and then as you get more comfortable with it and you want to let your teammates kind of handle that part of it, feel free to change this back to everyone. You don't need a trusted domain set here to set this box up, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. But that's how I often see it is most people will do invite only and then org and group admins here. From there, we'll jump over to the assessments page. Now, this is probably the page where you're going to be spending the majority of your time and then often coming back to as you decide to roll additional assessments out to your platform. So just to note, this might look slightly different because this is a Cloverleaf demo org, so not all assessments that you see here might not show on your side. So one I will focus on here, we'll just kind of scroll down here. We have the assessment column itself. We have this drop-down menu that lets you choose between visible and hidden. And then we have this padlock icon. So how these three work together is one, this is the page where you go to set up what assessments you want your teammates to take. So you can see here all of the assessments you have offered. And then from this next drop-down menu, you are deciding if you want to keep this assessment visible for your attendees or if you'd rather keep it hidden. And then this this last icon here is the padlock icon. So for example, in my organization, I want everybody to take the Enneagram. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark the Enneagram as visible, and I'm going to click that padlock. What that does here is it makes the assessment a requirement. So as I'm setting up my account for the first time, going through onboarding, and I get to the page where it wants me to start taking assessments, I will see it looks like DISC is also locked as well. I will see Enneagram and DISC served up to me first because I, as the admin, have set it up to where this is visible and locked, which means it's a requirement. Now, scrolling down here, I, as an admin, maybe don't want to focus on 16 types. And as a matter of fact, I don't want my teammates to take it at all. Maybe we'll roll that out next year, or next quarter, what have you. So I'm going to set this to hidden. And then if I click this padlock, that means only I, as the admin, can come back in here and turn it on. There is a little bit of wiggle room here where if I just leave an assessment as hidden, which we can see with VIA, but I don't click the padlock, this makes it to where the teammate can go into their account settings and enable it just for their account. So with VIA, there is a page in the account settings. If I open this up in a new tab super quick, move my Zoom window out of the way. And then if I go to these dashboard settings, this I think is important for anyone who decides to leave an assessment hidden and not padlocked. The dashboard setting in your account settings will show you all of the assessments that have been set either to on or off. And I think 16 types was the one that we were working on. Oh, did I not? What did I? Oh, sorry. I was looking at VIA. So when this page loads, VIA is set to off. So that means I myself as the user or the regular teammate non-admin, I can go into this page right here and turn this on. So when I do that, I can go now to my assessments page, and because I think this account already has VIA done, I would have the option to take it. But if it was hidden, it wouldn't show here unless I had turned it on from those account settings. So just wanted to kind of pause and just let you know. Sometimes I get this question and just sharing that knowledge with you all here to have them check their dashboard page in their account settings. As far as assessment rollout goes, we often see a lot of folks starting with like the personality assessments. So there's a lot of great coaching that comes out of Enneagram, DISC, and 16 types. That's um, probably the big three. I will always recommend a strengths-based assessment as well, just to round you out. So VIA is a great one for that. And then for cultural assessments, you should have access to instinctive drives, culture pulse, and motivating values. And I think it kind of depends on maybe the personality assessments that you've chosen. I like to equate culture pulse as the cousin to DISC and motivating values as the cousin to Enneagram. Culture pulse, like DISC, is kind of in the workplace, in a professional environment, and interacting with the team. Culture pulse measures the drives behind those decisions or those preferences. Whereas motivating values and Enneagram going hand to hand kind of measures you on who you are in the world, how you show up in the world. Motivating values does that with, again, the influencers and the drivers of you as a person. So one of those two. And then last, we have the energy rhythm down here, which is our quickest assessment. It's about 2 minutes. Answers a question you probably already know the answer to. Are you a morning, afternoon, or evening person? But this unlocks a really cool feature on the team dashboard that I think is underutilized. So I will definitely make sure that we pause to take a look at that as well. But to start, so nobody gets overwhelmed, I think a good phased rollout of maybe Enneagram or DISC or 16 types and a combination of two of these and VIA to start with energy rhythm as kind of a quick one is good. And then you can come back here in a couple of weeks and let's say I'm ready to roll VIA out now. I can make that visible and then make that a requirement. So when I do that, if I haven't already taken VIA, I will start to get reminders sent to my email where the subject line will be, you have a new task in Cloverleaf. And then in the body of the email, it will prompt me with a link to go and take this new assessment that's just been marked as a requirement. So it'll say, take your VIA assessment in this example. But that's the assessments page. And then I like to skip over the features page just super quick. We're going to take a look at onboarding next. And so what this page does is it's a good summary of everything that you have set as an onboarding task. So thinking about our new teammates who are joining Cloverleaf for the first time, this page summarizes everything that they're going to be doing, and then some additional things that you can turn on if you want them to complete that as well. So two of those are uploading their profile picture, connecting their calendar. So we work with Google and Microsoft Outlook. It's a couple of steps in terms of getting Cloverleaf connected to the calendar. And then essentially all we're looking to see is who you're meeting with. And what we'll do is if we find a matching profile, usually we'll look up the email in our system. And if we find a match and their visibility settings are set to allow for a coaching tip to pass through, we will serve up a coaching tip about the people that you are meeting with inside a calendar digest. So if you do want to take advantage of that, you can enable that here as well. And then the last box here, if I don't want to scroll through that assessments page and figure out what assessments I've marked as a requirement and kind of go through the matrix there, I can go to this page and this summarizes everything that I've currently got marked as required. Just nice and easy in a list format, served up to you as well. So that's the onboarding page. And then now we're going to jump back into the features. So with features, there's a ton of things that I would recommend turning on unless there's maybe a specific reason why you don't want to have these on. But I think these are all kind of built into your plan. And again, some of these I think are old things that we need to clean up. So you might not see all of them here, but the important ones are definitely enabled for your organization. So a lot of these pertain to the team dashboards and the setup of teams and how you want folks to find teams and things like that. So I will show you these. Um, they are activities, team roles, team thinking styles, allowing to set teams up to be discoverable. I don't think we're doing much with skills anymore, directory or the resource feed. I think all that is
Yeah.
stuff that we need to clean up.
Moving.
So wouldn't, yeah.
And
Don't
it's a
worry too
list.
much about, yeah. So a lot of these I think are definitely the team dashboard focus. So I'm going to jump over into a team that I'm on. So if I click my teams here, I'm going to open that in a new window, move my Zoom thing out of the way. You need to find it. There we go. Let's do that. Okay. So we have activities, team roles grid, thinking style, and discoverable teams. A lot of this can be found right here on the team dashboard. I'm going to start with activities. Activities are built into the platform. There's three that you can try to start. Two of these are really good, like meeting starters or icebreaker type activities. If you're coming back from the weekend and you want to shift your brain back into work mode, this is a great way to kickstart a weekly stand up or something like that, or maybe end your week with, where you can go and check out Cloverleaf Spotlight, for example. If you jump into this, you're going to get instructions on how to run this activity. You only really need one person to facilitate the activity. Usually that's a team admin, or if you've set your role to anything but an individual contributor, um, you will be able to see the activities link and start that. And then so once one person has started it, the other folks participating in the activity just need to have their Cloverleaf opened and then following the directions of the facilitator. So there's a video here. There's a guide that you can download, and there's directions here. And then for each activity, there's either like some follow-up type reflection questions or some other kind of additional follow-up questions as well, or reflection. Sorry, I minced my words there. Um, so yeah, that's activities. If you set up activity, this will walk you through what team you want to do this with. I think Avery's on the product team. We're going to focus on whatever amount of assessments are available in your org. We can pick one and make sure that everybody has at least this one taken. And then we are going to set a goal for the activity if we're celebrating strengths or something. And then we can go ahead and start our activity. So I'm going to hit cancel for that now. But there's a really, the videos will walk you through what the rest of it looks like. But that's activities. Cloverleaf Spotlight and the Scavenger Hunt are quick ones. And then there's one that we've built specifically for 16 types that you can take advantage of. Maybe you want to set aside an entire meeting for that one. It does take about 30 to 60 minutes to go through that one as well. Next is the Team Roles Grid. This is a really robust feature. It aggregates assessment data from Enneagram, DISC, 16 types, VIA, and Clifton Strengths, which is one of our partner assessments. You don't need to have all of them completed, but the more you have, the more information this feature will have to uh, be able to make the feature flow or run better. But it's not a requirement to have all of these done. So with the team roles grid, I like to kind of describe it in a way that if you're working on a group collaborative project, goal, initiative, what have you, there's 8 different roles that one or more roles can be energizing to a person. And so with the team roles grid, we've divided a kind of like the life cycle of a project into these 8 different roles. And the way that I like to view it is innovators and resourcers are kind of towards the beginning of the project. Your coordinators, drivers, monitors, and teammates are the middle of the project. And then towards the end, when you want to implement things or test things out, and then eventually wrap them up, these are really good for that. The page itself is pretty interactive. So if you're showing this to a teammate or wanting to learn more about this yourself and you want to know what an innovator is and how we define that, you can click into these different traits here and kind of get a better idea of how innovator is being defined. And then once you do that, you have the grid here. So with the grid, we identify folks that are going to be the most energized doing one or more of these roles. So you're seeing everybody's profile picture somewhere laid out in the grid, and then 3 green circles next to each profile picture. And I want you to think of that in terms of like an energy tank. So the more you have in the tank, the more energized you're going to be doing whatever role. So for Quinn, she's an innovator. I could lean on her to brainstorm solutions for the entire day, and it would probably not drain her. It'd probably energize her. She'd leave her work day feeling really good, probably reflecting on what a great day she had, et cetera, et cetera. As we get lower in the tank, Avery here, who I'm currently logged in as, maybe it's a little more situational with Avery. Avery, this is a dummy account, by the way. Avery is the leader of our fictional product team. So if I wanted to go to Avery to brainstorm the next feature that we're going to release, Avery would likely be very energized. Oh, I've got a million ideas for what we can do next. But if I wanted Avery's help thinking of how to pitch Cloverleaf to a new client, maybe that's not where he's wired, and it would likely drain him. So with the twos, it's a little more situational. And then if you have folks that have like one in the tank with Cameron down here as a driver, so if we look at driver, they're task focused and they need to achieve, they get results. I could probably count on Cameron to do this in a pinch if I really needed it. Um, but just the visual here is a good reminder that this is probably going to drain her a little bit faster than maybe it would Quinn, or hypothetically, if somebody did have three in their tank here. So this is a good reminder for me that am I um, is my are my teammates getting to do the things that energize them throughout their day? And this is a really good visual for that. So up here, you're likely seeing check marks and exclamation points next to some of these. The check mark just simply indicates that you've got someone who will be energized doing that role. The exclamation point says there's not someone here, and it's just another good reminder that, hey, if I need Avery to go do this, I'm gonna, make sure I'm checking in, make sure he's pacing himself, make sure he's balancing it with things that he enjoys doing when he can. And then the other question I get with this is, where am I? What if I don't show up in any of these? Does that mean I can't do it? Of course not. So this is just based on what assessment data that you've given Cloverleaf. You might not have all the assessments completed. It might be on the fence as far as putting you into a certain grid. Um, it's not to say that you can't do any of these. It's just kind of based on the data that Cloverleaf has at the moment. Here's what it came up with. So that's the team roles grid. And then this last one over here to the right is the thinking style, which is another one that you can toggle on and off. This one, it's a whole lot easier to talk about. You can run this off of four different assessments. Those are DISC, 16 types, Enneagram, and one of our cultural assessments, instinctive drives. And so this is really good for, I'm going to change the situation a little bit and say that Avery is a new manager and he's just joined this team. This thinking styles comparison is a really good way for him to get to know his teammates better. So let's say we've used Quinn before. Let's do Reese. Um, so if I want to learn about Reese and I have a intro meeting with her to introduce myself to her and let her know the projects I'm working on, a little bit about my background, I can pull up Reese on the thinking styles comparison and then choose myself as the other one and learn about Reese's communication style, her work sources and reactions to conflict, to really get a good understanding of her. I get a little summary up here as well, and then a little wrap up paragraph down here. So this is really good for new managers, or maybe I'm on a whole new team in general, and I'm trying to get to know my team a little bit better. The thinking styles is quick for getting an understanding of that. Okay, Reese is good. Cameron's also on that meeting. Let's learn about her. So each different assessment that you select here gives you a different set of information based on what that assessment measures. So with DISC, You get desired outcome. You get a little bit more about how DISC measures communication and any underlying fear. And then again, your summary down here as well. And then while I'm here, I know I mentioned energy rhythm before. The energy rhythm module that is available on the team dashboard is right here. This is the best time of day. I think this kind of ties everything together. So if I'm Avery and I'm on the new team, getting to know everybody, and we got this project that's due at the end of the month, um, I want to collaborate with my team, and I know based on everybody's energy rhythm results, I can see here that if I want to collaborate, create some tasks, generate ideas, do some research, that's probably something that I'm going to schedule for most of the team after lunch, as we define the best time of day for collaborating as a recovery task. And so down here, we define what recovery is. And then on the chart up here, we can say, okay, 3/4 of us are in our recovery time between 2 and 6. So I'm going to schedule some time to collaborate. And then after we collaborate, we're going to analyze some data tomorrow. That's peak time activity. So how we define peak time is best time for intense, focused tasks that require analytical and strategic brain power. So again, 3/4 of us are probably going to meet sometime before lunch, review that spreadsheet, develop some action items, and then maybe collaborate on it later that day. So I think this really ties it all together, kind of based on, using the team roles grid. If you're monitoring something and going working with Reese, who would be energized monitoring, know that if you want to hear Reese out on whatever data she's came up with, that's peak time. That's really cool. Just a little plug for that. My little favorite feature there. But back to the admin dashboard. The last one here is integrations, and this one's super quick. This just allows you to set up Microsoft Teams or Slack, depending on which one you use. If you do want to get Cloverleaf inside either of those messaging apps, you can get that set up here as well. Um, and then with Slack, you get your coaching, or with Slack and Teams, you get your coaching right within the platform. We do that to kind of meet you where you are. So if you're someone that's more in your Slack than your inbox, these apps are really great to have. All right. So that's configuration. Most of this, again, set and forget. I'm going to jump down here into the people management arm of Cloverleaf. This is likely, again, where you're probably going to be spending the most amount of your time here. Um, there's not too much that you can do down here, but I will give you just the basic lay of the land here. You have the org level, and then all of the teams that live within this org kind of roll up into that building icon. And then from there, if you are getting ready to send invites out for people to join the organization, the way that you can do that is by pressing the Add Person button here. And then here's a good gotcha right here. I finished typing in the email. I can't send off the invite. So what we want you to do here is either press the comma key or the enter key. You'll see that email kind of reformat itself and allow you to start typing another email address if you need to. And then also the invite button lights up here. So once you're ready to send out your invite or your invites, you can choose what their role is going to be. If you're sending out a couple of invites to join you as an admin, we've got a role for that. Otherwise, everyone will it will default to member here, and then you can send off your invite. The other box here is shareable invites. And this is really good for kind of getting your org out en masse. Excuse me, sending that link out via email or Slack or Teams if you use that. And then the downside to that is that you really can't track who has accepted or seen the invite this way. So just know that by sharing the invite, you can't really track if anyone is pending from that like you can up here. So if I sent this invite over to support at Cloverleaf, I would see it show up in my pending invites. And I think I've got a couple in here that are pending to show you. So once I've sent the invite, they will be in here, and you can see here that my two pending invites are in this status. I can open one up and resend an individual one here. I can revoke an invite, or if maybe I've typoed the email, what you want to do in this case is remove the invite from the organization and then resend the invite to the correct email. We do have some options for bulk managing invites. So if you click this checkbox here, if I had more than two in here, I could click the ones that I do want to send, click this prepare invites button, and then I could choose to resend the invite as a specific organization admin or as the organization itself. So if I leave this blank, it will let you send, but it will say Clovitech is inviting you to rather than Avery Evans is inviting you to. So if you want to add a personal touch, you can do that here and then send off those invites from there. Loaded, not invited. These are pulling from our bulk importer tool, which I forgot to go over, which we'll go over that in a sec. But this tool allows you to park invites. So let's say in support@cloverleaf.me's case, I'm going to send out an invite to this person on Friday. So I got them loaded in here now, and then once I'm ready, I can go in here, go through the prepare invites flow, and then send off that invite once Friday does hit. But coming back to that, with bulk importer, that lives over here in your settings page, and bulk importer lives down here. This is a tool that allows you to import a list of users, allows you to park their invites and send them off at a time that's best for you. This page has been created to hopefully help guide you along the way as you are preparing this sheet for you to upload and then eventually send out. So we have a template first and foremost that I will call out that we want you to follow. It's classic first name, last name, email. But in addition to that, you can choose or you can add if that specific user's manager is on Cloverleaf, you can add their email in there. And what we'll do is we'll create an automatic reporting team from there. So everyone that sets their manager, in addition to the teams that you can add them to, they do get added to a reporting team that is the manager and all of their direct reports. But from there, we have a quick start guide that shows you all the things that you can do with the bulk importer. It's not just good for getting people into the platform, but if you also need to make changes in mass or remove folks in mass, there are ways that you can do that from here. So if you click, how do I remove users? This gives you a step-by-step guide on, hey, these 5 people are gone. I want to just do it all in one quick go. This is a way for you to manage that here. But yeah, that's the bulk importer. And then going back down into the people management. So I mentioned some teams, so we're going to jump into that next. So now that we've added our folks, I want to get them all onto their teams. I can create a team from scratch up here. We'll just call it test for now. And then we'll hit save. And you can see our test team shows up over here on the left. So from there, if I want to add, let's do Jordan, Kai, and we'll search for Reese again. I can choose the folks that I want to add to this team from here. I can set them up as team admins or members. Hit send. Get an error. Let's try that again. Sometimes that happens. It's okay. It's built into the platform. We do it on purpose. So now that I've sent my invites, I can see the people on my team that I've added. And from here, if I open up a user's menu here, I can do this at any level. I'm looking at the team over here, but I can also do this from this level as well. What this shows me is some additional information about Jordan. I've got two drop-down menus down here. So let's say, okay, I've added Jordan to the test team. I also need to add Jordan to customer support. Pretty easy way to do that as well. And then, wow,
Never fails.
yep, there we go. Sometimes you got to do it twice. It's okay.
The tester.
Um, so yeah, we've got, I've also added Jordan to the customer support team. And let's say Jordan is also going to be an admin of the support team. And I'm assuming we're going to just follow the trend here and get that error again. Communications had error, one successful send. That's interesting. Okay. All right. So we'll get that cleaned up. But yeah, so with team admins, you are basically, I'm entrusting Jordan to kind of run the customer support team with a little bit more privilege than an actual member of the customer support team gets. More on that in a sec. Beyond that, the other things that I can do when viewing this profile menu is I can change or set Jordan's manager from here, or choose if the manager is not on Cloverleaf, we'll just say does not have manager. If Jordan is being promoted or changing titles, I can do that here as well. And then I can also see a summary of the teams that Jordan is on. Oh, let's remove him from test. Well, no errors. All right. So from here, I can see the teams that he's on, the teams that he is an admin of. And then the last thing that you all can do as admins is download any reporting. So we offer assessment reports for DISC, Enneagram, and 16 types for those that have taken it. And then you get a report for those three as well. Now, the last thing that we'll look at here is being an admin of a team and what that looks like for anyone that you do decide to make an admin. So we've got Jordan here as the admin of customer support. Let's go take a look at that team. And one thing to note that as an admin, you don't have to be on the team to view the team dashboards. So I'm logged in as Avery. I'm looking at this team here, but I can also go out to the actual team dashboard for the support team and view the dashboard without actually having to add myself to it. So we got all the features that I just mentioned up here. Team admins and above, so any admin should be able to see the settings button here. So with team admins, if you do add anyone here, they get access to this page where they can review who's currently on the team. Anyone currently inside the Cloverleaf organization, they can add folks to that team as long as they're already active inside the Cloverleaf org. I can see any requests to join the team or any invites that I've sent out from this page. I'm the admin of the customer support team, or as the admin of the customer support team, I can send out assessment reminders for folks that maybe need to complete a specific assessment or two. Looks like my team is pretty good to go outside of this one here. So I can send off a quick email reminder that will remind the three members that they need to take Insights Discovery. If I only want to focus on specific modules of the team dashboard, I can manage that. I can manage that here. And then you also note anything with a padlock icon next to it kind of calls back to that first part of the call where we were setting up what assessments are marked as required. So I can't disable those, but if I only want to focus on the ones that are required, I can turn every other module off here and really only focus on the ones that are required. And then the last option here is preferences. So I can choose to make the team private or keep it discoverable. And then so the benefit to making a team discoverable, which when you set up a team, you do have the option to do that, is if I go into this add team button up here, I can also I can create a new team or I can browse existing teams. So as a teammate who's maybe only joined one team, I've just joined Cloverleaf. I want to see what other teams are out there. So this is going to show me all of the teams that I can request to join. So taking myself out of Avery's shoes, I'm going to pretend I'm someone new and I've just joined the marketing team. I can send a request to join this team. So that's one less thing that you as an admin would have to do if you want to set your Cloverleaf org up with team admins and encourage your users of the inside the Cloverleaf org to find their teams. You just have to make sure that there's a team admin assigned and then show them how to request to join from here. And then once I do click that, Tariq will get an email letting him know, hey, Avery is requesting to join the team, accept or decline. Tariq can manage that from the team dashboard settings as well. Um, I think that is everything. I know that that was a lot of words. There was a lot of information. But the good thing is you're talking to the guy who supports this every day. So as you know, I've started this, I will end this as well. If you do have any questions, shoot us a message over here in the chat bot. It should be following you around once you're logged in. If you're having issues or questions getting your organization set up, hopefully the recording is helpful, but also for just quick questions, I'm always happy to help out from here as well. And then the other thing that I will link in the chat is our help center. And you guessed it, I manage that as well. So if you find a discrepancy or some outdated info, or if you have questions about any of that, all of that kind of runs through me. So, feel free to give that a bookmark, shoot me a question over in support. But I think that's all I got for you. And then in our last couple minutes, I'll turn it over for any questions. It looks like Heidi's been doing a great job managing as well. So I'll
I do what I can,
back to
Jason.
y'all.
Yeah, I would say that help support center, there is lots in there. So it's, hey, I can't remember how to add a person, or I can't remember how to add myself to a team or add somebody else to a team or create teams. I can't remember how to run reports. All of that is in there. So if you search for it, it'll pop up with a help doc. Obviously, you can ask Jason as well, but if you can do a little bit of work on your own, that would be helpful because Jason is one person. But they're you should be able to find this fairly quickly. But like he said, feel free to message out with that. I was doing some of this behind the scenes. For those of you who don't have admin access, please let us know. Reach out and we can make sure you have admin access. And there was weird about I can't remember I don't know what happened to James, but James disappeared from his org. So we got that figured out too. So if anything looks quirky, just let us know. We'll get that fixed for you. Looks like, yeah, Travis. Yeah, we can get you set up too. Um, yeah, Michelle, I know you mentioned going through some of that. I know Jason had gone through the team dashboard. Do you want us to review anything else about Cloverleaf?
Yeah, it might be a good idea, just like your kind of overview refresher. When I was looking at some of the names on here, I know some of you guys are, new to being the admin. Some of you I know, like James, Travis, Paul, you've kind of gone in and used it before. So even just kind of an overview of, the benefits of Cloverleaf, maybe what they can expect in their email, those kinds of things might be a good idea.
Yeah, I can do that. So let me share my screen real quick. If you haven't been in the system, I know a lot of people love our tips that get emailed, and I love that too. But if you haven't been in the system, check it out. There's a lot that's gone on in the last few months. So first one being is Discover. It's our main screen. So just like everything else in the world now, I feel like we have an AI type of thing. So what's interesting is we've sort of been AI before AI existed. All of those tips and insights that you've gotten, we have manually put all of those in. And so now the AI behind all of that, or I say AI like this, it's legit AI. It's a closed source AI. So there's no worries of it's coming from other people's websites or information that's not true. It's all coming from the assessments that are reliable and valid and been validated and all of that you've been taken. All of that information that we have manually put in and basically taken all those reports is in our system, and that's what we're doing. That's the AI that's behind it, is just built behind that. So what we've done is all of that information, all that tips and insights that's loaded in here, you can now ask it a question. So it's basically like Chat GPT, but for Cloverleaf. So you can ask, I can say, I would love to give accolades to Jason for his good work on the meeting today. And it'll give me some ideas on what Jason likes. It knows who Jason is. It pulls up his assessments, and then shows
And
Jason public praise versus private recognition. So I am someone that like tell me in front of everyone, but Jason enjoys, in its same way, like, great, give praise, right? So it'll give me that information. The nice thing too is it also works on Teams. So for an example, if I pull up our, customer success team, so many teams, there's a little search button on the top here, it does the same thing. How can I send praise to my team? I can spell. It will not only look at me when Jason's on my team, but there's a few others. So it's gonna look up everybody's profiles and do that as well. So it's basically taking all of that information that we've been sending you through emails, and those daily tips, and putting it in the system so you can really dive deeper into that. What we're working on next is now those tips, we'll be working on what we're calling a coach, like the coaching focuses that you may have seen in the past. You can create a focus of, hey, I have this project coming up. And I'm working with so and so and so and so that those tips will come to you even more in detail, more to follow on that, but that's what's coming soon. So what's nice about this is it's not just the tips and insights that you're getting just randomly that tend to, I swear we're not watching you, but it feels like that sometimes. Well, now you're able to go even deeper with that. Dive in, if you've asked it a question or asked for information, you can dive deeper in here. You can take notes. How do I apply this information? What do I do with this now that I've gotten that information? So that is in here now as well. Another really cool, nice thing is this feedback. So if you're asking if you'd like to get feedback from your teammates, or for an entire team, things like that, you can go in here and create a feedback request and say, hey, I want to get feedback from Jason. I'm going to ask it a question. How can we work better together? But what's nice too, I can spell, it will, if I use this little magic wand down here, it will give me a little bit more of a deeper question to ask. So it's not so generic, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should ask it this way. So I can select those, I can add that question. You can have multiple questions in here as well, and then send that out to folks, and have them get the feedback back to you. If you send it to multiple people, it will even create an AI summary of the information. So if multiple people are giving me the same type of feedback, it'll say, hey, you've heard this from a few people. Maybe we should look into that a little bit more. So definitely some really cool things that have been added since, since we've started working with you all, but some really cool just things to pop around in the system. I would highly recommend looking in the system instead of just the emails. Also, Jason had mentioned, kind of glanced over that candidates feature. I don't want to get you all confused on, but it is possible to use candidates in your team. So if like in your organization. So if you're hiring and you want folks to take assessments, that is available to you as admins now as well. So you can invite people to take the assessments as they're hiring in to see, if they fit well with your team. I don't like to go through all of that just because it's a lot. It's not hard, but it's just like you're learning so many other things. We don't want to muddy the water. So if it is something that you're interested in, just let us know and we can get you more information on that. But that was something else I wanted to mention.
Can I hijack you
Yeah,
for 1 second,
go for
Heidi?
it.
Oh, could you share your screen or I
Oh,
can share
yeah, sorry.
mine. I just wanted to point one last thing out with Discover.
Hmm.
Um, so you can do all the coaching things starting from this chat box right here that Heidi's got. But one of the other things with Cloverleaf is that we don't expect you to be an expert in any of the assessments at all. We want you to come in and take the assessments and learn about yourself and others. So if there's any questions that you have around, like you can ask it, what is Enneagram? What is DISC? And this will give you an answer as well. We've also loaded our help center content into this as well. So if you do have a quick question on like, what is that candidate's feature? How do I send an invite? Um, the expectation here is that Discover will give you an answer for that as well. So you've got support, you've got the help center. You can use Discover to learn not just about yourself, but about the platform in general as well. So lots of fun little Easter eggs in there for you. But yeah, I know we're at time, so I just wanted to throw that in there super quick.
Any other questions? Travis, I'm gonna get you ready to roll. But anybody else have any questions or need anything else while we're here?
And I'll just say again, if you guys do, you can always reach out to me or Alexis or honestly anybody on our team too, and we can help you, find that question or connect you with Heidi or Jason to make sure that gets answered. So yeah. So I guess that's going to conclude our training. I know we're a couple minutes over, so thanks everybody for sticking around. Thank you, Heidi and Jason, for being here and walking us through all that. I know it's a lot of information. I will also say just that the help, like there's a lot of help things in Cloverleaf as well that have been very useful for me. So, but again, reach out if you need anything. And thank you again for being a Tribal Hub member, everybody. And I will chat with you soon.
Yeah. I'll
Thanks.
send you the recording, Michelle, and then we'll be
Perfect.
sending out to everybody. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.